Good morning and happy Labor Day weekend. Happy Sunday. My name's Larry. That's Carly. How are you doing, Carly?
I'm doing well. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. That's my wife. She happens to be in the west wing of the house in the dining room, while I am in the east wing in my office. So we're about, 500 foot away from each other? Something like that.
Not even that far.
Yeah, just a couple of feet away from each other. She's on the other side. And so we're going to be doing Bible study. We're continuing with our Forgotten Books of the Bible series, and this week is Zephaniah. Zephaniah. Carly, are you familiar with the book of Zephaniah?
I am not.
And that is exactly what we're doing this series, right? I don't think the majority of the people have ever read Zephaniah. So Zephaniah is a very cool book. It's towards the end of the Old Testament, and it's a book of dual prophecy. And a dual prophecy is when you give, in the Bible, we see the examples of this a lot of times where there's a prophecy and it has two fulfillments. One's immediate or pretty soon after the prophecy is made, that prophecy gets fulfilled. And the other prophecy is in the distant future, and it usually points towards Jesus, the tribulation, the second coming, the rapture, something like that. And so in Zephaniah, he's given prophecies about near future, and this is set in Judah after the northern kingdom had fallen, but Judah's still there. And the king of Judah at this time is Josiah, which is really interesting. Josiah is the last good king of Judah before it falls. There was a couple of bad kings after him, and Josiah was the great great grandson of King Hezekiah. So it was Hezekiah who was a good king. He had a son who was an awful king. His grandson was one of the worst kings ever, the king that really pushed God to the breaking point and said, "That's it. I'm done with you, Judah. You're going into exile." But then came Josiah, and Josiah did some things right. And God said, "Okay, Josiah, I'm going to save you from seeing this judgment I'm about to put on Judah because you've been such a good king." And that's the king that's in charge here during Zephaniah. The interesting thing about Zephaniah is he's related to Josiah somehow, because Zephaniah's great great grandfather is King Hezekiah also. So he's in the royal line. He is a prophet in the royal line, which is really rare. I'm not sure. I think he's a distant cousin. I'm not 100% sure how the two are related, but they both go back to King Hezekiah. So that's pretty interesting. So we'll get started, Carly. Now we got the backstory. So this is during the reign of King Josiah, a good king, and Zephaniah is a prophet. They both share the great grandfather, both from the royal line. Josiah is the king, Zephaniah is the prophet, and we'll pick it up in 1:1, and we'll look at some of the dual prophecies. You ready, Carly?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
The word of the Lord that came to Zephaniah, son of Cushi, the son of Gedaliah, the son of Amariah, the son of Hezekiah, during the reign of Josiah, son of Amon, king of Judah. Warning of coming destruction. I will sweep away everything from the face of the earth, declares the Lord. I will sweep away both men and animals. I will sweep away the birds of the air and the flesh of the sea. The wicked will have only heaps of rubble when I cut off man from the face of the earth, declares the Lord. I will stretch out my hand against Judah and all who live in Jerusalem. I will cut off from this place every remnant of Baal, the names of the pagan and the idolatrous priests, those who bow down on the roofs to worship the starry host, those who bow down and swear by the Lord, and who also swear by Moloch, those who turn back from following the Lord, and neither seek the Lord nor inquire of him. Be silent before the sovereign Lord, for the day of the Lord is near. The Lord has prepared a sacrifice. He has consecrated those he has invited. On the day of the Lord's sacrifice, I will punish the princes and all the king's sons and those clad in foreign clothes. On that day, I will punish all those who avoid stepping on the threshold, who fill the temple of their gods with violence and deceit. On that day, declares the Lord, a cry will go up from the fish gate, wailing from the new quarter, a loud crash from the hills. Well, You who live in the market district, all of your merchants will be wiped out. All who trade with silver will be ruined. At that time, I will search Jerusalem with lamps and punish those who are complacent, who are like wine left on its dregs, who think the Lord will do nothing, neither good or bad. Their wealth will be plundered, their houses demolished. They will build houses, but not live in them. They will plant vineyards, but not drink the wine. The great day of the Lord is near, near and coming quickly. Listen, the cry on the day of the Lord will be bitter, the shouting of the warrior there. That day will be a day of wrath, a day of distress and anguish, a day of trouble and ruin, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and blackness, a day of trumpet and battle cry, against the fortified cities and against the corner towers. I will bring distress on the people, and they will walk like blind men because they have sinned against the Lord. Their blood will be poured out like dust, and their entrails like filth. Neither their silver nor their gold will be able to save them on the day of the Lord's wrath. In the fire of his jealousy, the whole world will be consumed, for he will make a sudden end of all who live in the earth.
All right. Thank you, Carly. So here is a great example. It's bleak, but we see the example of the dual prophecy, right? We see Zephaniah, who is addressing Judah, the country, to Josiah, and he's saying, look, you got a problem coming, and it's going to be a huge problem. And so for Josiah, when he hears these words, he's thinking, okay, the country is going to be destroyed, and he knows that because God's told him that. But here Zephaniah is given the prophecy of when Babylon will come in and invade Judah, the southern kingdom, and all this comes true in 586 AD, BC. All this comes through when Babylon invades Judah and destroys them. But also the dual prophecy comes, and we start looking at some of this, like, I will sweep away both man and beast. I will sweep away the birds of the sky and the fish in the sea, and the idols that cause them to wicked stumble. Okay, so yes, God did that because Babylon took the people in Judah and took them all away to exile, right? In Revelations, we see this too. During the tribulation, we see angels dumping out the bowl judgments, and they're really bad, and the world's getting destroyed. Everything's getting destroyed. The oceans turn to blood. You know, all the fish are dead. In Revelation, we see this prophecy getting fulfilled too, towards the end of time, towards the tribulation, before Jesus comes back. And that's what this is saying. So Zephaniah is getting this prophecy, and it's cool because he's seeing Babylon destroying Judah, and he's also seeing the end time. So he's seeing two things at once. He's seeing 2 points in the future, which is really cool to me. What do you think, Kylie?
That is cool.
Yeah, as you read through it, you know, you definitely can see some similarities to Revelations, but also you can put into you can fit it into the time when, like I said, Babylon invaded Judah. At the time, I will search Jerusalem with lamps and punish those who are complacent, who are like wine left on its own dregs, who thinks the Lord will do nothing, either good or bad. We go through Revelation and we see that people are doing that, you know, and when we read back into like Second Kings and the Kings, we see how far Judah had fallen away from God, and people were doing that, right? When they get conquered and taken into exile. So again, the dual prophecy working both ways here. And so the whole first chapter of Zephaniah is just the dual prophecy about the day of the Lord's judgment. One, the judgment on Judah that happened in the 580s. And then the second one is the Lord's judgment on earth, which we see play out in Revelation at the end of the tribulation, right before Jesus comes back, and the wrath that gets unleashed in Revelation. So dual prophecy here in Zephaniah 1 about the judgment day of the Lord. 1, the judgment on Judah. 2, the judgment on the earth during the tribulation. So pretty interesting.
It happens a lot in the Bible, actually.
What's that? Yeah, the judgment does happened a lot.
Well, right. Where it's dual, where it applies then and now.
Yeah, it's great when you get a dual prophecy too, because it's like you see it fulfilled, you see it fulfilled then, and then you still have something to be fulfilled in the future. And we see that a lot. I mean, that starts in Genesis. The dual prophecies start in Genesis, and they continue all throughout the Bible. We see dual prophecies that have a near-term fulfillment and a futuristic fulfillment that hasn't happened yet. So, all right, we'll take it with 2.
Gather together, O shameful nation, before the appointed time arrives, and that day sweeps on like chaff. Before the fierce anger of the Lord comes upon you, before the day of the Lord's wrath comes upon you, seek the Lord, all you humble of the land, you who do what he commands. Seek righteous, seek humility. Perhaps you will be sheltered on the day of the Lord's anger. Gaza will be abandoned and Ashkelon left in ruins. At midday, Ashdod will be emptied and Ekron uprooted. Woe to you who live by the sea. O Kirathite people, the word of the Lord is against you. O Canaan, land of Philistines, I will destroy you and none will be left. The land by the sea, where the Kerethites dwell, will be a place for shepherds and sheep pens. It will belong to the remnant of the house of Judah. There they will find pasture. In the evening they will lie down in the houses of Ashkelon. The Lord their God will care for them. He will restore their fortunes. I have heard the insults of Moab and the taunts of the Ammonites, who insulted my people and made threats against their land. Therefore, as surely as I live, declares the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, surely Moab will become like Sodom, the Ammonites like Gomorrah, and a place of weeds and salt pits, a wasteland forever. The remnant of my people will plunder them. The survivors of my nation will inherit their land. This is what they will get in return for their pride, for insulting and mocking the people of the Lord Almighty. The Lord will be awesome to them when he destroys all the gods of the land. The nations on every shore will worship him, every one in his own land. You too, O Cushites, will be slain by my sword. He will stretch out his hand against the north and destroy Assyria, leaving Nineveh utterly desolate and dry as the desert. Flocks and herds will lie down there, creatures of every kind. The desert owl, the screech owl will roost in her columns. Their calls will echo through the windows. Rubble will be in the doorways. The beams of cedar will be exposed. This is the carefree city that lived in safety. She said to herself, I am, and there is none beside me. What a ruin she has become, a lair for wild beasts. All who pass by her scoff and shake their fists.
All right. Thank you, Carly. So here we got, it's not really dual prophecies here. We've got different prophecies describing different things that are going to happen, some in the future, some in the near term. But here, Zephaniah kind of breaks it down. And the main focus of chapter 2 in Zephaniah is God is reminding Judah and other people that I'm the God of all nations. I'm not just the God of Israel. I'm not just the God of Judah. I am the God of all nations, and I will pass judgment where I want to pass judgment. I will judge those that need to be judged. And so at first, that's what he's saying. Gather together yourselves together, you shameful nation, before the decree takes effect. And that day passes like windblown shaft, before the Lord's fierce anger comes upon you, before the day of the Lord's wrath comes upon you. Seek the Lord, all you humble of the land, you who do not do what he commands. Seek righteous, seek humility. Perhaps you will be sheltered on the day of the Lord's anger. This is the prophecy towards the end of time where God's going to come back and judge all the nations, right? He's going to judge everybody. It doesn't matter what nation you're at. You're going to be judged and if you're living against God, he's going to come back. And this is the final judgment day, a prophecy towards the final judgment day. Getting down to 4, Gaza will be abandoned and Ashkelon left in ruins. At the midday, Ashdod will be emptied and Ekron uprooted. Woe to you who live by the sea, the Kirathite people. The word of the Lord is against you. Canaan, land of Philistines, he says, I will destroy you, and none will be left. So again, 4 down to 7 is talking about the final judgment day. But then in 8, it kind of switches. In 8, when he's talking about Moab and Ammon, it's really interesting. And then gets to Cush and Assyria. You know what all these countries have in common? They were all destroyed by the Babylonians. So the Babylonians destroyed all these countries, and including Judah. The Babylonians invaded, destroyed, and conquered all these countries. Moab, Ammon, Cush, Assyria. Add Judah to that list. They were all conquered by the Babylonians. And so here, this is a prophecy about what's going to happen in the near future and how God's going to use Babylon as a sword to pass judgment on these nations. And that's exactly what he did. In Assyria is interesting because Assyria was the world power at this time. Like Assyria was the world power. They were the big dog. Nobody thought Assyria would fall, but they crumbled from the inside. Like their top general revolted against the king, and this is Nebuchadnezzar's dad. He revolted against the king, and they became the Babylonians, and they destroyed Assyria from the inside, basically. So Assyria, Cush, Moab, Ammon, and Judah all got destroyed by the Babylonians. And when God says, you too will be slain by my sword, that's exactly what he's talking about. His sword is the Babylonians, and he's going to use them to slay all these countries. Any thoughts? Anything jump out to you?
Gaza.
Gaza. It's interesting. We see Gaza in the Bible too, right? Gaza is in the modern day news, and yeah, a big strip of land that has biblical ties. And I just want to remind everybody the chat is open. If you want to chat with us, you can chat on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching from. Just type in the message. We'd love to read it. Get your thoughts on Zephaniah. So, chapter 2, I am the God of all nations. These nations are going to be judged in the future when I come back. And these nations are going to be judged pretty soon by the Babylonians. I'm going to use them to destroy them. That's a good overview of chapter 2 of Zephaniah.
It's kind of like it's happening again, right? Now.
Yeah, exactly. We're seeing some of this start to happen now. I mean, it's not the end times. We could be living in the end times, but it's not like this part of the end times yet. You know what I'm saying? So we haven't got here yet, but it's definitely coming. So, all right, we will pick up in 3, Miss Carly.
Woe to the city of oppressors, rebellious and defiled. She obeys no one. She accepts no correction. She does not trust in the Lord. She does not draw near to her God. Her officials are roaring lions. Her rulers are evening wolves who leave nothing for the morning. Her prophets are arrogant. They are treacherous men. Her priests profane the sanctuary and do violence to the law. The Lord within her is righteous. He does no wrong. Morning by morning he dispenses his justice, and every new day he does not fail. Yet the unrighteous know no shame. I have cut off nations, their strongholds are demolished. I have left their streets deserted, with no one passing through their cities are destroyed. No one will be left, no one at all. I said to the city, surely you will fear me and accept correction. Then her dwellings would not be cut off, nor my punishments came upon her. But they were still eager to act corruptly in all they did. Therefore, wait for me, declares the Lord, for the day I will stand up to testify. I have decided to assemble the nations, to gather the kingdoms, and to pour out my wrath on them with all my fierce anger. The whole world will be consumed by the fire of my jealous anger. Then I will purify the lips of the people, that all of them may call on the name of the Lord and serve him shoulder to shoulder. From beyond the rivers of Cush, my worshippers, my scattered people will bring me offerings. On that day you will not be put to shame for all the wrongs you have done to me, because I will remove them. I will remove from the city those who rejoice in their pride. Never again will you be haughty on my holy hill, but I will leave within you the meek and the humble who trust in the name of the Lord. The remnant of Israel will do no wrong. They will speak no lies, nor will deceit be found in their mouths. They will eat and lie down, and no one will make them afraid. Sing, O daughter of Zion. Shout aloud, O Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all your heart. O daughter of Jerusalem, the Lord has taken away your punishment, and he has turned back your enemy. The Lord, the King of Israel, is with you. Never again will you fear any harm. On that day they will say to Jerusalem, do not fear, O Zion. Do not let your hands hang limp. The Lord your God is with you. He is mighty to save. He will take great delight in you, and he will quiet you with his love. He will rejoice over you with singing. The sorrows for the appointed feasts I will remove from you. They are a burden and a reproach to you. At that time I will deal with all who oppressed you. I will rescue the lame and gather those who have been scattered. I will give them praise and honor in every land where they were put to shame. At that time I will gather you. At that time I will bring you home. I will give you honor and praise among all the peoples of the earth, when I restore your fortunes before your very eyes, says the Lord.
All right. Thank you, Carly. That was Zephaniah 3. In Zephaniah 3, what we get again is a couple of different prophecies. One about the near future in Jerusalem and Judah. And then the other one is actually about the millennial kingdom. When Jesus comes back, he's going to rule for 1,000 years in the millennial kingdom. And that's what the second half, like starting in 9 down, that's what that's about. But before we get there, in the beginning, what's going to happen is Judah has a really good king right now. Josiah is one of the good kings and the last good king, like we talked about. And he's good. But when Josiah dies, Judah's really going to fall off the cliff and go back to idolatry and go back to doing all the things he put a stop to, right? And it's really going to anger the Lord. And that's when Babylon's going to come in and destroy him and conquer him. And so the first, like 1 through 8, that's what that's about in Zephaniah, is Babylon coming in and taking Judah into exile, but they will come back, right? They're going to come back in 70 years. And so that's what he's talking about. I have destroyed nations, their strongholds demolished. I left their streets deserted with no passing through. Their cities are laid to waste. They are deserted and empty. That's 3:6. And what happens when the Babylonians conquered you, they would take all the people out of that land and move new people back into the land. That's what happened to Samaria. So the northern kingdom of Israel, they took everybody out, put new people in, and when the Jews got sent back, they started mixing with the people who were there, and you got this hybrid race called the Sumerians, right? So that's what he's saying here. You know, I've destroyed you. Everybody's going to go away. Everybody in Judah is going to go away, get taken into exile. And then when we get down to 9, that's when he starts talking about the millennial kingdom. Then I will purify the lips of the people, that all of them may call on the name of the Lord and serve him shoulder to shoulder. So, all right. I think to understand this prophecy, one, you have to believe in a pre-trib rapture, right? Because we're gone, but we're coming back in the millennial kingdom, right? We're coming back with God, Jesus, at the Battle of Armageddon. The people that are raptured are coming back. And we'll be here serving in the shoulder to shoulder with the Lord in the millennial kingdom. It's here in Zephaniah, it's in Revelation. So that's what it's talking about there. From beyond the rivers of Cush, my worshipers, my scattered people will bring me offerings. So during the millennial kingdom, it's really going to be his people will be coming back to him. He will be the temple, right? He's going to be the center of Jerusalem, and his people will come back to him. On that day, you, Jerusalem, will not be put to shame for all the wrong you have done me, because I will remove from you your arrogant boasters. Never again will you be haughty on my holy hill. This is after the day of judgment, right? There's the bad people are gone, so Jerusalem's pure. God lives in Jerusalem. But I will leave within you the meek and the humble. The remnant of Israel will trust in the name of the Lord. The remnant of Israel is interesting. That could mean a couple of different things. To me, it points, again, to Revelations and the 144,000 that are still during this time, during the judgment. But I'm not 100% sure on that. It could just mean the Israelites that are left during this time. I'm not 100% sure. I've seen it explained both ways, and it makes sense to me both ways. So I don't know if it's the 144,000, if it's the Israelites at this time, it could be both. So the remnant of Israel is just an interesting phrase. So that's basically Zephaniah 3, where we see the prophecy in what's going to happen in Judah. And then we see God give Zephaniah a prophecy of the millennial kingdom to come when Jesus comes back. And what jumped out to you there, Carly? When you read, anything jump out to you?
It's just really incredible to believe that it's gonna get worse. Like what we see already, it's so bad over there. I just can't even imagine. I can't even imagine the destruction that's going to take place.
Yeah, and that's a good warning, right? I mean, we do not want to be here during the tribulation period. If we think it's bad now, I mean, it's nothing compared to what that 7-year stretch is going to be like during the tribulation. It's going to be really bad, especially the last 3 years. So, yeah, that's a good point. If we think it's bad now, it's nothing compared to what the tribulation period is going to be. But luckily for us Christians that believe in a pre-trib rapture, which is what I totally think the Bible supports, then we're not going to be here. That's the good news for us that believe in Jesus now. We will not be here to see that tribulation period. All right. And that's Zephaniah, Carly. Interesting book. Lots of prophecies in Zephaniah. I suggest you read it, study it. Again, it tells you prophecies near and far, near in the future, far in the future. Book full of prophecy. Zephaniah, it's in the Old Testament. It's right in between Haggai and Habakkuk. Is that right? Habakkuk. Yeah. So if you're looking for it, I know where it is, and I still have problems finding it. That's where you can locate it. All right. We will pray out in just a second. But before we do that, I want to remind you tomorrow, if you're around YouTube and you want to check it out at 7 p.m., the Bible Shorts Unplugged series continues. Ted Ferguson tells us the story of Abraham tomorrow on Bible Shorts Unplugged. Thursday night, it's Bible Talk with Larry and Scott. This week we'll be in John 16, and Brad Crawford, who wrote this book, The Gospel Basics, will be here with us. And the next Sunday morning, the series continues. The last week of the Forgotten Books of the Bible series will be in the New Testament in the book of Titus. Titus next week.
I have heard of Titus.
You've heard of Titus, yes, yes. I know. We read Titus about a year ago in our Bible study. So yeah, you've definitely read Titus before too. All right, so we'll be in Titus, which is probably the most popular book that we went through in this series, but I wanted to put one in the New Testament in there at least. All right, let's pray out. I know we're praying for Joan this morning. Who else are we praying for today?
Everybody, all of our family.
All of our family, okay.
All of our family, just everybody in general. Lots of people having surgeries, and everybody's going through something you don't know anything about.
Absolutely.
If anybody has any prayer requests, please send them over. Hit me up on Facebook if you'd like me to pray with you or for you or privately. And I won't share it with anyone, of course.
Absolutely. Thank you, Carly. Will you pray here?
You can get a better praise report for Larry. He got clearance to do more things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's nice. Life's starting to feel normal after the kidney.
Stronger, and he's doing really. So
yeah.
Life's getting more normal by the day. I'm actually, how many pounds? 8 pounds?
You're putting on weight again because you're not stressed out.
Which I mean, people hate that, but
yeah, and I want to do that video. Maybe I'll do it this week. I want to do a video sharing my testimony about the kidney transplant because there's just so much. I mean, you witnessed it, Carly. There was so much that was touched by God and just blessed in the whole situation. It started off, when it started in February on dialysis, that was rough. But by the time we got to the
Yeah.
transplant, everything went so smooth.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, God obviously had his hand in it. And just hearing the donor, Andrea's side of the story, like, I mean, God worked it out perfectly. You know, it's like he was moving these puzzle pieces around and we didn't even know it. And so it was just so, I say random, but it was just so God, you know, the way it happened, because it couldn't have happened any other way. That
Absolutely.
I'll share this video. I'll do this video. I've been talking about it for weeks. I need to get it done. But you shared the Facebook post when I was in the hospital going on dialysis in February, or you posted the message,
January.
right? January, yeah. You posted the message in January about me going into the hospital on dialysis and needing a kidney. My cousin Will saw that and shared it. And a woman I've never met before, didn't know, who worked out at my cousin's gym, saw his post and said, yeah, God's telling me to give this guy a kidney. A total stranger gave me a kidney, which the odds of that happening is like 1 in 100,000. Like the odds of her being a match is 1 in 100,000. And she was a perfect match and everything worked out well. The surgery went well. We're both recovering, doing well, the donor and me. The new kidney took really well and still continues to operate. So it was all God, right? It was all God. So we got a friend that's in the hospital right now, and I heard about a bad nurse there. All my nurses were great in the hospital I was in. So yeah, it was an incredible experience. I don't know how else to describe. I wouldn't think I would describe a kidney transplant as an incredible experience, but it was an incredible experience just seeing how God worked through it all, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
and all the strength.
yeah, and all the strength. Yeah, the strength he gave us.
I did what I did.
Yeah.
Still don't.
So,
I still don't.
so we'll make a video and tell that entire story. Yeah, Carly was strong. I mean, she did everything. I couldn't do anything around the house. She did everything around the house, helping me on dialysis. And then when I was recovering from the transplant, I mean, I was on restrictions. I couldn't lift anything over 10 pounds. I mean, you can imagine that. I had so many limitations on what I could do because and still do have limitations, but not as much.
For a normal person with no spinal injuries, that would have been one thing. But yeah, we have some issues.
Yeah.
So it was amazing. It's been really amazing. And there were, I mean, spiritual battles too, you know, lots of spiritual battles.
For sure.
Pretty real stuff. So yeah, I want people to be aware of that too.
Yeah, so maybe we'll sit down and make that video this week and get it on
as well. And it's very, very real. Spiritual battles in this world.
Absolutely.
A lot of what's happening.
Yeah, spiritual battles are real. They're biblical. And Paul tells us, you know, our battle isn't of this world. Our battle isn't of flesh and blood. It's against the spiritual realm. So, all right, let's pray. Father, thank you. Thank you for this time. Thank you for letting us read the book of Zephaniah this morning, Lord, and see the prophecies still yet to come in it, Lord. Just thank you. Thank you for giving us this life. Thank you for everything you blessed us with, Father. We just want to lift up our family and friends, Joan and Kim. Joan needs you in the ICU with her, Lord, right now, and just give Kim strength to deal with that situation, Lord. We want to lift up our other friends and family that need you, Lord. Maybe those that aren't making the best decisions right now that need you to step into their lives and to show them that you're there for them. Maybe those that are struggling health-wise, Lord, that just need you to put your hand in their situation whenever they're dealing with God. Thank you for your love, grace, and mercy, and thank you for our salvation. It's in your holy name we pray, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Thank you, Carly. Thank you to everybody that watched on Facebook or YouTube this morning. The Forgotten Books of the Bible series continues next Sunday morning, 9:30, wrapping it up with Titus. And I'm not sure where we're going after this, but I got a couple ideas. So we'll see. We'll see what the next series is. We'll see you next week. What's that?
Said shoot from the hip.
Yeah, I will promise. I will tell you what the next series is next week. I'm debating between 2 or 3. But all right, we will see you next week on Bible Study Sunday mornings, 9:30 a.m. right here on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in.